let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again, Brady Cannon, for joining us, as he does from time to time. Talk a little NFL, a little football, Scott and Gabe, as we have the second half underway. Seattle kicked the field goal on its opening drive, so it's 17-3 now. Seattle on top of Arizona. His Arizona team is just too mediocre. I won't put Seattle in that class because they're winning, but just Arizona's just it's a no-nothing football team. 17-3. It's 10.5. Over-under is 36.5, and it's up to Arizona to do something here. Otherwise, this could get really, really ugly. So,
but you knew this. You knew that
I know.
Arizona, as I always bring up, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals are 27-12 against the spread on the road. At home, they're money burners. They don't win at home for whatever reason. They're flat, and with the injuries that they had coming into tonight, it was just sort of like a red flag and warning sign, and Seattle owned them as well. The only thing I was worried about is it almost seemed too easy for this to fall into place tonight, right? 7 in a row for Seattle, the injuries with Arizona, and quite frankly, players matter, right? People talk about, the quarterback this, there's 53 guys on the team, and the Arizona Cardinals, quite frankly, they don't have a lot of talent. Their defense is battling right now, but they're just not a very talented football team. Meanwhile, if you look at Seattle, you got Cooper Kupp, you've got JSN, you've got Sam Darnold, you've got Kenneth Walker, you've got Zach Charbonnet. Who does Arizona have? Trey Benson? It's like a plastic fork and a knife fight here. That's why I bet on Seattle tonight. I was like, there's just too much for Arizona to overcome against this team.
Yeah. I put the Arizona, I don't know why, I really don't, but I put Arizona in the Mark Lawrence contest. You get those things, you got to hand that in so damn early, right? So I just saw Arizona Thursday night, chance to make amends for what happened last year when they lost 2 out of 3, or two times in a 3-week span. But I didn't realize the numbers were that bad for Kyler Murray. Then I did the research. I'm like, it's a losing ticket. But when your star players don't step up, and we know, I'm not saying he is a star, but he's supposed to be a star in Marvin Harrison Jr., and he clearly is not. I don't know if that's going to change or not, but McBride's got 5 catches for 39 yards. Let's hope he gets more involved like he did last year in the second half of these games. So I still have hope about that. But, yeah, they're just not Kyler Murray's a coach killer in that you get expectations, and he has flashes of brilliance, but you're asking him to carry a football team that's just not any good. And you think sometimes you can do it, but other times you can't. So I don't think it's going to happen tonight.
And the one thing with Kyler Murray too, and I like him. I think he's a good quarterback, but I thought Ryan Fitzpatrick had a great breakdown about him tonight. And Fitzpatrick's pretty honest with this stuff, right? And he said his skill level is super high. He does a lot of things that other people can't do. But then it got to closing season strong, doing it for 17 games, and the leadership stuff, Scott, right? Not that he's like a bad person, but you see, like, the team is struggling, and what does he do? He goes and he sits by himself on the bench.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think, like, if you put Kyler Murray on a good football team with a bunch of talent, whatever, he'd freaking light it up. But I'm not sure he's the guy that can get on my shoulders. Like, look at Josh Allen's personality, right? Like, look at even Justin Herbert. Like, people buy into him, right? Like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to run through a wall for this guy. Kyler Murray's just sort of like another player that's there, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he's really good, but yeah, I'm the quarterback, but I'm just a guy. I'm just here. And I've heard he's gotten better at leadership, because he used to be terrible, but they're an average franchise, right? So, it is what it is. People are going to blame the quarterback, but it goes deeper than just him. They just don't have enough talent.
It's hard. You live in purgatory. You think, okay, you're going to pay the quarterback $40 million, but it's the old New York Yankee George Steinbrenner. Yeah.
Like, who have they ever signed like a free agent? Like, when have they ever made a splash?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Zach
like,
Ertz
when have they said
that Zach Ertz era about 3-4 years ago?
Zach Ertz.
Okay.
But
I
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's it.
No disrespect to Zach Ertz, but but like, it's very Baltimore's like, and I get it. I sound like Kyler Murray's agent here, but like, there's only so much he can do with the players that he has.
Right.
Look,
I always bring this guy up.
When he had DeAndre Hopkins, they beat the Buffalo Bills with a Hail Mary. Right? Like, if he has players to throw to, Harrison isn't this guy, Scott. Everyone thought he would be, and he clearly isn't.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
I mean, would Seattle have made a trade with Arizona with Metcalf? You know what? I think if they would have offered more than Pittsburgh, I think they would have. He was available. Devontae Adams was available. There were wide receivers this year in the offseason that were available, and you think you want to get a veteran guy. Put him next to Harris. Stephon Diggs, right?
Numerous guys. But they never do it. They never do it. The last time they did it was Larry Fitzgerald, and they went to the effing Super Bowl. Yeah. But you know this. You're old enough to know this, Scott. You're old enough to know the Bidwells are terrible owners. They've always have been, right? They're known. They've been in the league, guys, since the league was created, basically. Like, no one talks about them because but the Bidwell family, like, they're known. It's like the March Shot. Yeah, they're like March Shot. Like, they don't spend money on players. Remember those days, Scott? In St. Louis, they didn't spend money on players. They've never spent money on players, this family.
Yeah, Mike Brown in Cincinnati spends more money than Arizona does. And that tells you something.
He gets twisted his arm. Like, that pen, like the sign.
He pays.
You're right, but he's like, all right. Yeah, you're right. Like in the end, he's like, all right. Yeah. No, but I'm being dead serious. Like, just, I'm not dismissing some of Kyler Murray's flaws, Scott, but like, if we dig down deeper in the analysis of this, like, the Arizona Cardinals' problems go deeper than Kyler Murray. He's just another, like, chapter in the book. Yeah. The family doesn't care about winning.
Yeah. On the other hand, you got Sam Darnold, who's in the process of going 3-1. And listen, I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan. And I don't not like him like I don't like Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is just awful, right? But
for the record, he's 16-4 in his last 20 games coming into tonight.
Sam Darnold, I mean, all the guy does is
win. So let me
now.
ask you, though.
So
the Raiders wanted to sign Sam Darnold. Tom Brady nixed it. Like, the Raiders football people in the offseason were like, you know what? Because they can pretend all this Pete Carroll wanted Geno Smith stuff. The football, they said, let's get Sam Darnold. He's good. Tom Brady said no. And look at this. Sam Darnold looks pretty good, bro. He was good last year with the Vikings. He choked in the big 2 games that they played at the end of the year. So did the entire Vikings team, right? The quarterback, it's more than just the quarterback, but So far, so good. I think Sam Darnold is good.
Yeah.
He can throw
Yeah,
the
he's doing
ball.
a good job.
If you protect him, Scott, he can throw the ball.
Yeah. Could you win a Super Bowl with him?
No.
With the right scheme? Probably not. Probably not.
No, but,
right.
No, that came out a little fast, probably.
Yeah.
That came out a little fast.
I was going to go a little slower than you. It's funny. With the right situation, maybe he learned a little something. Last year he finally had some success, and I know it fell apart.
But
I get
Seattle,
that, but,
are Seattle a Super Bowl team? That's what I was thinking more so, not just him.
No. Yeah, right. No, definitely not.
They're a win a game in the playoffs type of team, I think, at this rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're good, but are they on? I guess they're in
Detroit,
Tampa's level, I would say.
Philadelphia.
Like,
right.
Yeah, Detroit, Philadelphia, Green Bay are ahead of them, but Seattle are like that tier 2 contender, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. In that area, which isn't bad. It's not bad, all things considered. But Seattle's going to get the ball back. We'll update the line when we come back.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
I needed a mental break when the season was over. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. You get tired of training. But, man, I never get tired of playing golf. I love it. I mean, every course is different. Every day is different. And some days you're like, oh, I got this. I got it. Then you go out there and shoot a 95 the next day. I'm like, damn.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I mean, I think so. You talk about how difficult it is to bring an expansion team into the league and have success in your first season. Like, that's fairly unheard of. And not only have success, but they're in the playoffs. So I think she certainly deserves to win Coach of the Year. There's a lot of different candidates that could potentially, you could make a case for them. But I think just with this being an expansion team and how difficult that is.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
It was nice to see that even though they couldn't follow the same blueprint as last season or just the way that everyone thought their offense was going to run this year, Josh Jacobs struggled and Jordan Love stepped up. And if you're a Packer fan, that's what you were hoping to see, is that in the moments where you can't rely on the run, can the quarterback that you invested a lot of money into, now draft capital, putting weapons around him, rise to the occasion, and he did.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid. It's the most beautiful time of the year. No, not because of foliage or pumpkin spice lattes. It's because of football. SportsGrid has you covered all season long, covering every snap, every score, and every line move. Prepare, watch, win. Weekends are for winners. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So I don't know if there was a 3-and-out, but I think it was. Either way, Arizona did punt. 4 minutes and change left to go in the third quarter. Seattle leading at 17-3. And we got spoiled on Monday. We did, with Baltimore and Detroit going back and forth and everything else, and all the props hitting and all the players doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then this one, not quite the same. 11.5 for Seattle, and 34.5 is your number. I'll throw some halftime, well, not really halftime, but third quarter numbers at you. Kyler Murray's thrown for 86 yards. Sam Darnold, 149 and 1 touchdown. Murray's got 2 interceptions. Benson's their leading rusher for 28. Kyler only has 11. They've only run for 44 yards. Seattle's run for 116 with Walker with 52, Charbonnet with 29. Walker back in there. We were kind of wondering what happened, but he is back in there as we figured he would be. McBride, 5 receptions for 39. And believe it or not, Barner's got 3 for 32. Arroyo's got 2 for 44. Those are your leading receivers. I mean, I think if you told Arizona, Seattle, your leading receivers would have 2 and 3 receptions, both for less than 50 yards, late into the third quarter, they would have signed up for that. But it's not getting the job done. 17-3, Seattle on top.
Arizona's defense, Scott, has been one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Like we could talk.
Yep. Yeah, we're losing. I think game is broke. I will say, just to switch over to college football, we did get a touchdown out of Army, but they missed the extra point naturally. So it's 21-6. Gabe, and I'm sitting on the over 52.5. Go ahead, Gabe. Get you back.
Yeah, we're done. That total's not going to get there. I'm going down with you. I've got over 52 in this Army East Carolina game. It's just not happening. We did get that. I was hoping for a couple of quick touchdowns from Army and make this a game, but down 21-6. But as I was saying, this Cardinal defense is good. They're only giving up 17 points a game. And here they are at the 17 point mark right now. But this offense, it's going to be a long season for them unless they find some production from somebody quickly.
Yeah. Like you said, they had a great opportunity. Knowing they play Tennessee next week. You win tonight, and you're 2-1 in the you'd be 1-1 in division play, but you'd be 4-1 overall. Then you got Tennessee coming to town, and then you play at Indianapolis and Green Bay. It gets tougher after that, and that's why you have to make hay with what you have in front of you, because you just know it's going to be harder. You got Indianapolis, which won't be easy. You got Green Bay, you got Tampa Bay on the road. You got obviously the Rams twice, so Cincinnati, another game against San Francisco. So it's just a really disappointing performance so far out of Arizona. Maybe we get something crazy. They need some kind of break here. It's only a 2-score game. That's the good news if you're an Arizona fan. It's only a 2-score game. Would I be betting 11.5? I always put a couple shekels aside, for things that don't go the right way. I don't think I would, to tell you the truth. Even at home, I don't think it would hop on the 11.5. I'd be more inclined to go over 33.5, get 2 more touchdowns out of Seattle, or 1-1, and then Seattle win by 14 either way. I'd be more inclined to do that.
I don't see. I'm not laying 11.5. I'm already on Seattle. We got a teased under 50.5. It's 33.5 right now, the total. Normally, guys, I'd be running to my computer wanting to bet on the team that's losing quarterback passing yards right now, right? And completions, and jump in on everything, because it's clear Arizona do not have a choice, and they can't run the ball anyways. This has been a big problem for them for years. Connor's a nice story, but they've always had a bad running game. So problem is, I don't really have any confidence in his passing attack, Scott. They could be intercepted. Everything is just getting kind of dinked and dunked underneath. So for prop bettors, I think we could look at kind of reception props for the Arizona receivers. I'm not so sure about yards. Seattle's defense is good. And as you see now, they're kind of letting them just sort of dump off in front, and they're keeping everything in front of them. So I could see Kyler Murray racking up a bunch of completions now, Scott. I don't know about points, but I think the receptions, as we see, he's dumping it off now on every play.
Yeah. Listen, Seattle can't screw around here. It's a score that looks a lot worse than what it is. Ultimately, it's 2 scores.
Yeah, it feels worse than it is. It feels like a blowout, yeah.
Right. Because Arizona's doing nothing, right? They got those 3 points. Was it their either opening drive or second drive? But it was certainly in the first quarter, and that's it. That's been it. For basically 2 quarters plus since then. So it does seem like a lot more, but and you don't want to get a team to get a little mojo going here, and maybe that's the even if Arizona's got to dink and dunk their way down the field and take 10 minutes to score, as long as they do and make it a 17-10 game, you get the crowd back into it. Not impossible. They got to let the Seattle 32-yard line.
I was going to say, I think, he just caught a ball. I wasn't even sure he got his feet in, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I was looking. He's fighting the ball, too. I don't know what it is with Harrison. It's very unpro-like in the sense that You notice, Scott and guys, he jumps when he catches the ball.
Right.
Like he jumped like for no reason last week. Like the ball was coming to him and he kind of jumped. And it was like, dude, why did you jump? It was coming. You didn't need to jump. Even on this play at the sidelines, like he kind of jumped and I wasn't even sure he got his feet in bounds. But yeah, he's really fighting the football for whatever reason. I just don't understand it. Now Arizona tries to run a little flea flicker and Kyler Murray gets sacked on it. Like the kid, he didn't have a chance to throw it, Scott. Like the Arizona offensive line is terrible, bro. Let's call it out for what it is.
They want, good numbers on Arizona. And I think if they count that as a sack, that will be their third sack of the, let me just double check and see. Yeah. When Arizona game gives up 3 sacks or more, which really isn't that much, but still, when they give up 3 sacks or more, they're 2-20 straight up since 2000.
That's a problem. That's not a good number.
That's not a good number, right? I mean, that shows that their offensive line is not very good. I would, what I would do with Harrison is, listen, you got to get the ball in his hands, build up his confidence, run a reverse to him.
Do a quick hit, let him run with it.
Little screen pass. So any 5-year-old could catch a screen pass, right? And because
look at this last highlight,
him the ball.
Look at this little
6 attempts.
Look at this little last highlight with Kyler Murray scrambling. They just did a quick overhead shot. There's nobody open. Like he's running around. Everybody is covered. Right? And, Harrison's really not getting all that open, but nobody else is either.
Crazy. Big third down play coming up.
Let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say the caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So while we were away, as we like to say here all the time, 57-yard field goal. So if you did play field goal,
left it on the table.
Yeah, listen, 52 yards. That's a crazy number, right? This one went about 60 plus. They have that net game behind the field goals, and that's like 2 or 3 yards behind it, and that thing hit the net. I mean, all these kickers now can kick at 60-plus yards. It is crazy. So it was 4th and 17, so it's like, why are they kicking a field goal, Scott, down 14 late third quarter? Because you're not going to get a 4th and 17, so you might as well kick the field goal. They got it. So now, they're making they keep it a 2-score game, but now the field goal is now back in play again because they are down 11. But at least if they get another little 4th and 17, that will help their cause. But bottom line is they get 3 points out of it. Maybe that helps them. I was watching, they threw a pass to Dortch like we were talking about they should have done with Harrison. Just a quick little screen. He drops the ball, right? I will say this about Kyler Murray. Like, whenever they do a close-up of him, he does have, like, the worst look. He's not rah-rah. He's not – he's just got that look of
he
like,
doesn't
man,
help
my
a bad situation. Yeah, he doesn't help a bad situation. Because that's the thing, like I said, you put him on a good team when everyone's good around him, I think he'll drop back. He'll do what you tell him to do. He'll throw the ball. He'll do whatever. But if you're a bad team, he's not that, like, you know what I mean? He's not that guy who's going to walk up and down the bench, Scott, telling everyone like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. Like, we're in it. We're down 11. Let's go. He goes and he sits down. I mean, he'd put headphones on if he could, I think. Right? Like, he's one of these quarterbacks, like Colin Kaepernick. Harbaugh told a story about that with Kaepernick. Like, recent, they said, we're talking about Kaepernick, and Harbaugh goes, he's a really great guy. I love him to death and stuff. And he goes, I'll tell you a funny story. He's really shy. He goes, when he was with me with the Niners, he goes, we were going to the Super Bowl. And he goes, he used to just walk around with headphones on all the time. And I told him, listen, you're the quarterback. You got to talk to people during the day, right? And it was just sort of that learning stuff. But, like, look at Kyler now. They show him. He's sitting on the bench looking pissed off. Yeah. Like, it just sort of exasperates it, right? And his guys aren't, like you said, too, people pick on him. But his guys let him down all the time. They're dropping the balls. But I'm with you in the sense that I don't think his glares help. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's just, we've all been in that situation. You're getting mad. You're looking at people. They're screwing up. And you start screwing up. And then you blame them because you're screwing up. You know what I mean? You sort of get, like, you talked about it with Lamar. Lamar sort of has that. He's been getting frustrated on the sideline lately. And, during the game, he's still talking about plays from before. And, he's ripping the coordinator. And, like you said, Kyler, he is who he is, Scott. He's not going to change his personality. Like, it is what it is.
It goes back to 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, when he was saying that he doesn't, go into the playbook and doesn't watch game films. I mean, he got a whole lot of heat for that, and then he kind of corrected himself. But that, kind of gives you an insight. That's who he is. Yeah, it's just he's not the rah-rah type, and he's not helping the situation. Someone's got to go to him and say, listen, Kyler, pretend. Do whatever you want after the game. Say we suck, say this, whatever you want to do in the locker room. But know when you're on that field as the quarterback, there are cameras. There's 5,000 cameras, and I guarantee you there's one guy that has a camera on you 24/7. So no matter what you do, you're going to come out looking bad if you don't have at least a little encouragement look on your face.
And he's a pretty bad interview as well. Yeah. Like, he's one of these guys, Scott, that, like, I don't know if he can't help himself or – often things that he says just sort of come out like they don't sound good the way he says it. Yeah. Like I like earlier, like they were asking him about Marvin Harrison, about do you have to get him more involved and get him more targets and like, what can we do to get him going? And he goes, I don't have to get anyone going. I got to throw to who's open. It's like, you know what I mean? It's got to be a better response.
Play the game.
He's got no filter. Like, I mean, like there's got to be. You're the quarterback. You got to pointedly say, you know what, I'm telling you, and like even lie, like you said, in practice. Yeah. A great story. It's funny, Scott. You remember Tommy Lasorda? He was the biggest like liar, hustler, BSer out there, right? So he did an interview with Keith Olbermann years ago, and the Dodgers were like battling for a playoff spot. It was after they won the World Series, but they had like Cal Daniels. They weren't that good. They had a bunch of guys. And in the interview, Tommy Lasorda goes, we don't have the most talent this year, but I'd go to war with these guys anytime. I'm more proud of this team than I've ever had. The second the interview ended, he goes, Keith, I swear this is the worst effing unit of ball players I've ever seen in my life. He's on the camera. Gosh darn it, I got their back. We're gonna show you guys. Off here, he's like, I got a center fielder that can't catch a ball. He starts ripping. It was gold.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Tom Vecchio coming up next.
let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right. It's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think he's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues game day, and the Seattle Seahawks are controlling this football game right now. We got Tom Vecchio ready to step up and in. And Tom, some games are sort of a proper-palooza. The Baltimore-Detroit game, people get really excited for it. Tonight, I was expecting a lower-scoring game with a total of 43.5. Quite frankly, this game is kind of going the way I thought it would. I wish it would be more exciting, per se, in a sense, but I was expecting sort of a slugfest, short week, division game. Arizona's offense really struggling this year. What are your thoughts on this game, and what do you think happens moving forward here?
I was on the same page. Short week, like you said, both teams a little bit banged up, not expecting the offense. Just this is not the type of matchup, at least between these two teams, given their defenses, which actually am pretty high on the Cardinals' defense overall. I was just not expecting points. So I was looking at unders across the board for a lot of players, under on Trey Benson, under on the game overall. I did say, on some pregame shows that if you gave me a live total in the mid-30s, then I would be interested in the over. And I'm seeing it now at 33.5. I just don't see a way that the Cardinals get anything on offense going, even though they just hit another field goal.
Now, there seems to be a trend. You and I talk about these number one wide receivers not getting targeted, not getting the football enough. What's your opinion with Marvin Harrison right now? He has been targeted 6 times tonight, but he's only got 2 catches. He's really fighting the football for real. And here's Kenneth Walker busting one. He's really fighting the football for real. He has this little hop jump before he catches the ball suddenly, which is super bizarre, right? It's just so unnatural. Like we talk about hockey, it's almost like he's like a goalie fighting the puck. Like a goalie will sort of hop and he's, he's just fighting the football right now. What do you make of this? And does he turn it around? He's got 2 catches for 24 yards in this game right now.
Yeah, it seems like he's got the yips, like a kicker does at some point. It's just it fumbles him. And, Herbstreit was alluding to on the broadcast. It's I almost want to see him go out, be a little angry, be a little aggressive, be more physical, whatever it has to take for him to be the dominant wide receiver that he should be, the receiver that they drafted him to be after immensely successful college career. Like, he needs to show that he is the guy. And whatever that is it a mental thing? Is it an on-field connection thing with Kyler? Is it a play calling thing? A lot of people are alluding to when they threw him the ball, a quick screen pass. Like, you need to have those little things, just like get him easy catches just to get him into the rhythm of the game and have him stay involved throughout the entire time. You can't go multiple drives without him having a catch. Like, you need to build the confidence early, and it has to be sustained throughout the game.
So it appeared like Seattle scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Zach Charbonnet easily ran into the end zone, but there was a penalty flag on the play. So they go backwards. It's now 1st and goal from like the 17-yard line or so coming up here. But Charbonnet, listen, and I bet at the half Kenneth Walker, and it went down to 72.5. He's at 74 right now. I figured Seattle with the lead. He's going to get some touches here. He got taken out of the game after he got the flag and he threw the football and all that. But Charbonnet's come in and poached the touchdowns tonight. Like, you got Barner with the touchdown and you got Charbonnet with the touchdown. Very, Seattle, you don't know who they're going to go to. That's one thing that does make them tough to stop.
It does. And, the Charbonnet news of him playing, I almost wanted to be optimistic about him because he didn't play last week, right? And I know he didn't play last week because he was injured. But it's like, okay, is he actually coming off of more rest because he didn't play last week? And it's a short week, so Kenneth Walker is out here. It's like, does that actually give like more validation to Charbonnet because he's quote unquote rested despite this injury? So looking to him, I think, is a great call. I'm on Arroyo for a touchdown prop today with the FanDuel jackpot that they got going on. So I would love to see him get one in here. But looking at those secondary options is always a good choice. They're always at plus money.
They did throw to Arroyo once in the end zone earlier, right? He was covered, and it wasn't the prettiest play. It kind of blew up on him, but they did try to, and he made a nice play down the field as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Darnold and this offense, they will throw to the open guy. Like, they don't force, and I think that was something that sort of McDonald didn't like last year with DK Metcalf. Like, get me the ball. And there's that sort of aura of, we've got to throw to this guy first and not everybody else. This is a very unselfish Seattle team. People don't talk about them because they're in the Pacific Northwest, but they are a good football team, the Seahawks.
They are, and I will say, like, that is twofold, at least from our side of the table. It's like that actually can make things super tough from a prop perspective. Like, JSN has done nothing tonight. Like, literally nothing, but like, okay, we have all these other players stepping up. So from a prop perspective, it actually can make things difficult at times because it's like, hey, we don't know who the ball is going to because they have a bunch of really good options and they're just going to spread it around. So like, oh, he's open, pass it to him, run it to him, hand off here, screenplay. So it is good from a team perspective, but from our perspective, it actually can be difficult.
It does make it tricky. It does make it tricky for sure. So looking at the in-game props right now, let's look from an Arizona perspective, Tom, because they're the ones that are going to be getting the football back. And their defense is stepping up right now. Their defense has played well this year. They're only giving up 17 points a game. So looking at this from an Arizona perspective, Dortch has 20 yards. His prop is 25.5 right now. Harrison's at 24. He's 35.5 now. Michael Wilson was a sneaky play tonight with his receptions. Michael Wilson is 10 yards, 14.5 now. Benson, 19 yards right now. It's 24.5. Trey McBride's at 43, 62.5. If you had to play one Arizona Cardinal, who would you look at?
Benson or McBride. Like, those are the only two options I can trust. Like, McBride is the best player on the Cardinals, no doubt about it. And Kyler very frequently looks to him, but because the pass rush from Seattle getting there, the quick dump downs to Benson have been there all game, and I think they will continue to be there. So you give me Benson, he only needs 5 yards. He's got 19 to 25, or McBride, a couple passes. He's at 43. We need to get to 64. So give me 21 yards. I think they can get it done in 9 minutes left to play.
I like Darnold over 222.5 tonight, Tom. I thought that Seattle would throw the ball more. I kind of knew the pace of the game would be slow, but I still thought they would have success. Walker only had like average 2.8 yards a carry last week. They run the ball. They're not great at doing it, even though they do it. They're trying to get better at it, obviously. But Darnold really hasn't had to. But he is still at 183 right now. And it's funny because his prop is 193.5 right now, guys. It's pretty wild. So 11 more yards for Darnold to win that prop if you want to bet in game. But What about Kyler Murray right now? He's at $1.16. They're down 14. They just hit the field goal. There's 9.5 left in the game. He's at 116, and the prop now, Tom, is 191.5.
191. Okay, I'm seeing 183.5 for Kyler. So
Wow.
as we always talk
That's
about,
even better.
In game numbers, it's not just like pregame.
What do you see for Darnold? What do you see for Darnold right now?
192.5.
That's weird. I have the same number. I'm looking at Bet365, and which number? Are you looking at FanDuel?
Yeah, and Kyler just jumped up to 185. So, we always talk about, pregame, the guy's always going to be like, okay, he's at 200, another book has it at 201, 202. It's they're always basically the same. But in-game, things can vary quite a bit. And Kyler, so we're talking about, so it just jumped up to 187. So 183 to 187 in a matter of 30 seconds. But the point
People are listening to us. That's why.
He's 116, and he needs to get to 187. So we're talking about, 70 yards. That's 2 drives, really, because it's not – I would assume that it wouldn't be all passing on literally one drive. So if you're betting the over, you're betting on multiple drives from Arizona, which is actually really difficult because if they do go score, the Seahawks, their plan is going to be like, hey, we're just going to run the ball on the following drive. Therefore, Kyler's chances will be limited on a third drive. So know that if you need 70 yards from him, you need 2 drives out of Arizona.
And, you're going to need a couple of big chunk, quick plays to get the wheels rolling. Exactly. So they can get the ball back and their defense has to get a stop when Seattle gets the ball. But it's a reasonable number. I think he will get there.
Yes.
I like the number better when it was 183.5. Tom Vecchio, thank you very much, Tom.
Of course.
Let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again for Tom Vecchio joining Gabe. I was doing a couple things there, working on my bets for the rest of the night. That's what I was doing. So added a field goal while we were away there, 20-6 now. Seattle kind of Arizona game in this game, but time obviously becoming a factor now. Under 8 minutes left. Arizona, thanks to a nice little scramble by Kyler Murray, so his over rushing props did hit. Has it at the Seattle 40-yard line. 7 minutes and change left to go. I mean, it's not out of the question. Now I'm a little more encouraged about Arizona getting an by the way touchdown. They're down 14. They're giving you 9.5. I think they do score here. I don't think they would be kicking any field goals. So the bet is 9.5. You think they get the by the way touchdown? I'm going to say yes. I would go in on Arizona right now.
The problem with Arizona, they're moving the ball. Kyler Murray popped a big run to go over his rushing yard prop, but when they get into a tight spot here, when they get it, so it's one thing to move the ball down the field. Seattle are kind of playing a prevent defense right now a bit. Everything, Seattle has got this bend but don't break, everything in front of them. So here they are now in the 25. Well, if they get close, Scott, when they're in tight, number one, you need big receivers and you need guys that can go up and fight for the ball. Like Arizona's receivers haven't shown me anything. They're going to go and catch a ball in the end zone here right now. But, throw the ball down the field and good things happen. Seattle just got tagged with a pass interference call. So Kyler Murray threw it down the sideline to like the 4-yard line. So they're going to have first and goal from the 4 here right now. So here we go. And the point spread just fell to 7.5. That in-game total, 33.5 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad. They wouldn't be going for 2, so you would need 2 scores. But I like I said, I still think that 7.5, even as long as it's more than 7, that I think Arizona does score. It's hard not to score at least 1 touchdown, right? 2 field goals. By the way, McBride's got 7 receptions for 52. Harrison does have 3 for 27. So if he went in on overs like 25.5, we brought up one time, he actually hit that, believe it or not. So with 3 timeouts left,
Kyler Murray just got sacked. That doesn't help. As I stated, it's one thing to move the ball like in between the in between the 20s. Once you get into the the 10-yard line, it really becomes like offense versus defense, and you see good teams have a hard time scoring, from this range. Being at the 10 is actually better for them. This actually might give them a little bit more space, Scott. To be honest, sometimes like when you're on the 3 and 2, like some offenses don't like it, right? Like they want a little bit of space, but
no rule.
Being on the 10. Yeah, being on the 10 is kind of perfect. You got 20 yards to work with, right, with the end zone. So now, though, suddenly they're on the 16-yard line.
They're going the wrong way, fellas.
I think we got to – let's
touchdown?
See. Yeah, we got to catch Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow.
He needed to make a play. He makes a play.
It makes a play. Give credit to Arizona, I suppose, for still throwing the ball. He's got 7 targets. So it's not like they haven't, given up on him. So how about that? So 20-12. Now they wouldn't do something.
And it was a hell of a catch.
Go for 2, right? Was it? Yeah.
And we cashed
here in a second.
We cashed the touchdown prop. We had Harrison to score a touchdown. So cash. No, we had the receptions actually 4.5. I got a McBride touchdown. So, no, I take it back, actually. I take it back with the Harrison.
You need one more catch then out of Harrison.
Yeah, I confused my Harrison touchdown prop with my Jackson Smith and the Jigba prop at plus 150. I got overly eager. I'm like, I think I have that. No, you don't have that. You don't have that. But he'll get another catch, though, and I'll go over to 4.5. They'll get the ball back again. Now there's more urgency for them here to get a stop here, too.
Yeah. 5.5 minutes left, and Arizona's got 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning, obviously. So Seattle needs it, realistically, 3, certainly at least 2, more like 3 or 4 first downs to run. If they were to run out the clock. So
they better get some. The pressure will get on them for real. Like if Seattle goes 3 and out, like Arizona gets that momentum going, right? But back to Kyler Murray, sort of like you see, if someone makes a play for him, they can score, Scott. But if you're the quarterback, who are you supposed to throw it to? They got to catch the ball when you throw it to them, and they got to get open.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a play, but you know what I mean. If they that's what normal teams do, though. They make plays. Arizona just haven't made enough plays tonight.
Yeah, they must lead the league in drop passes. They have to, without knowing for sure. So, And this is the time when Kyler Murray, does his best. Forget about handing the ball off and dropping back the pass.
No, he's better under chaos.
Like
when it's not,
exactly.
not
just stay out. Yeah, go out there, go throw the ball, go scramble over, do whatever you want. Move the
That's
ball down
like
the field,
Caleb Williams. Same. It's funny they came from the same coach in offense. It's the same thing with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, Scott, isn't like even like everyone loved him so much. Like sharp scouts basically warned people and said, like, look at this guy when he drops back to pass, like just on a, on a normal play. It's not pretty. He has a hard time reading the defense. Like he forces balls in. Like there's just a lot of negatives. As soon as a play breaks down, Scott, Caleb Williams can do things that very few people can do. Right? He sees things, he runs around, and suddenly everything opens up. Playground football, which I almost wonder sometimes. It's like, yeah, you know what? If you're Arizona, you don't like it. You don't want to lose control, like the coach wants control, blah, blah. Whatever, dude. You're paying Kyler Murray all this money. What's his strength? Let him run around and do stupid stuff, Scott. Yeah. If he gets hurt and he gets killed, he gets killed. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I'm of the belief, like, Lamar Jackson, we got to turn him into a pocket passer. No, I would run him into the ground, win a Super Bowl, and if he breaks his leg, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Right. I won a Super Bowl, and I move on to the next guy. Thanks for the Super Bowl ring. Here's your money. We put a banner up for you. We're going to retire your number. Thank you. Move on. Like, same with Josh Allen. Like, I don't care if Josh Allen, runs people over and, no, we want you to play within this. No, we want to win, right? We want to win. Right? Like this whole, let's protect Kyler. Protect him from what? Like I would tell him, run around, bro. Let's improvise. Let's let him run around. Let's ask him, what do you want to do? You want to roll out? What do you want to do? Let him do it. Yeah. Right? They look at Lamar Jackson. They're not letting Lamar. You think Lamar wanted Derrick Henry throwing a pass from the 4-yard line the other day?
I don't think so. Yeah. You draft these guys based on their athletic ability, and then you shut them down. You don't use it. Yeah, crazy. All right, let's see if Arizona can get a stop here, get the ball back. You've got my
Let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say to caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, final couple of moments, but who knows? This thing goes to overtime. We could be here till midnight, but we will see. So, deep pass, first down. Wow, Seattle got the first down. How about that? Third and was it 6 or so, and they I don't know if you call it a bomb here, Gabe, but they threw the ball down the field. That's a gutsy
confidence.
Yeah, obviously. Look at that.
Confidence to Sam Darnold. That's what that shows, right? And it's the thing with Sam Darnold, he is super accurate. Like that, he really is. Like people, you know what I mean? He's not the most mobile guy, but even though he had a nice run tonight, but he doesn't get the credit. Like he's a super accurate passer. We saw that last year with Minnesota. That was a perfect pass down the sidelines, and he's still a little short, but that goes to show, like, you know, the receptions. Jackson Smith and Ajigba got only 3 catches, but that was for 36 yards. It was a big play, 57 yards for him now on the game. So 3 carries, 3 catches, 57 yards for JSN. But I brought it up earlier. It sounds cliche, but Seattle really are an unselfish team. Like they really, and I'm not throwing DK Metcalf under the bus or Geno Smith under the bus and these guys, but they didn't think it was a team before. It was sort of like, right, you better get Metcalf the ball, and how come you're not, you know what I mean? And it was all about Geno Smith and Metcalf, and now you'll notice, like, it's JSN's not going to complain, and he only got 3 catches tonight. They're winning the game. Charbonnet and Walker seem to be interchangeable. Darnold's the team guy. You know, he just does what the team is telling him to do. Defensively, they're very good. Like I said, they're a good football team. Like they're going to be a playoff team, Seattle, this year.
Tell you, they're in an interesting spot here, Gabe. They got 3rd and 9, 4 minutes left at the Arizona 37. You could throw, you could run.
Yeah, that really is the in-between. It's the worst place to be.
I mean, let's say they don't and timeout Arizona. Let's say they don't get a yard. Now you're looking at a 53-yard field goal. You hit the field goal, you probably win the game.
They're going for the field goal. And now I'm kicking myself for not playing it. Just, I guess this is a new NFL, even if it's 52.5. Right? The field goal prop already hit. But nice job by, Arizona. They got burnt on the deep play, but they at least they left some time on the clock here. 53-yard field goal attempt for Seattle to give them a 10-point lead. If they miss this, man, Arizona's got good field position.
Yeah, down 7. I was all set to praise Seattle, Gabe. And then, when they had the ball to start, there were
he shanks it.
I think it was.
Wow, he shanks it. Not even close.
Got a shot. Arizona
now look at the crowd, too. If you look at the crowd, they're all fired up and really into it now.
Wow.
Like, you create this monster if you're Seattle by letting Arizona hang around.
But here's the thing, Gabe. They 5 minutes and change left, and they threw the ball twice on that first set of downs. On first down and then that long pass. And I was all set to praise them by saying, you know what? A lot of teams would come out and just run the ball 3 times and punt and being aggressive, right? But then once they get in the field goal range, they ran the ball 3 times.
Exactly. After the big play, they ran the ball and got stuffed 3 times in a row.
Yeah, like
at that point, and that's why, they hit the 57-yarder, but that's why I didn't want to play the 52-yarder. He just missed the 53-yarder, right? But they did the 57-yarder before. But you're right. You get there, bro, you just broke their spirit by completing a 36-yard pass down the sideline. You drop back again and just throw another pass, and Arizona are, like, getting ready to go to the bar after the game. It's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Seattle, you're right. It's very strange. Hey, let's be super aggressive. Okay, let's run the ball 3 times in a row. They lost yards. Like, I don't even mind, like, running the ball, Scott, but when you see teams, when they run the ball with no intention of gaining yards, it's like, you kind of just ran the ball, put your head down and, like, tackled yourself. Like, you ran right into the line. Like, it's like, you're just trying to kill time. Well, good for you. Now Arizona just completed another big play down the field. This is getting real right now. Man, wow! You're going to take a lot back about Kyler Murray if he comes back. I think.
I'll tell you what, I will be eating a nice crow dinner tonight if he leaves this comeback. But we had talked about this all second half. Like, Seattle was settling for field goals, and they're keeping them in, and they're not really that far behind. 2 scores. I hope you grabbed that 9.5 when we told you, 5 minutes ago, because now, now they got a chance. And now
I don't think this is a catch. There was a replay. Yeah, it wasn't. So yeah, it looked like catch. So we got a big 4th and 4 coming up, just like this, as we're coming up against a break, of course.
Naturally. All right, we'll let you know how it turns out. In-game live game day here on the Grid.
Let's play a little game of buy or sell. It would appear from most of the reports, George, that Mike McDaniel is going to keep his job as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. This is a long season, though, and they're already 0-3. Buy or sell, McDaniel will be the Dolphins' head coach at the end of the season.
He's going to get fired. All right, it's either now, later in the season, at the end of the season. He's not making it to next year. So the only question is, do they let him go towards the end of the season here? New York, Carolina, Chargers, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore bye. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington going into that bye. And that Washington game, by the way, is in Europe somewhere. So I don't think he survives that. I don't think he's going to survive the bye week. I think it's going to go 1-3 of those games, maybe even lose all 4 of those games. No. And I think they will trade some players away, so they're going to be a worse team than they are now here. No, I'm going to sell this. He does not make it to the end of the season. I think they're going to fire him after week 11, if I had to guess. I think it's the perfect spot because not only is there a bye week, tough schedule beforehand, but then you have New Orleans at home. Good place for a new coach to start.
My thing is this, George, and here's why I am going to buy this. I think he's going to make it through the year and then he's going to be fired. Is because I just think it is rock bottom right now. They're 0-3. So, are they going to lose 3 consecutive games again this season? I don't think so. I think they're going to win 6 games or 7 games, which tells me it's win, loss, 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 win, loss, loss, So I just think they make the change at the end of the year. If they're not going to make it now and they're 0-3, the only thing that I would say the caveat would be is if they lose in their next game. If they lose that next game, then 0-4, yes, I think it happens. I don't think they will, though. So I am going to buy this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live Game Day here on the Grid. So we actually have a pretty good game, Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency, for the next, who knows how long, if this thing goes to overtime, which we never would have even suggested, 10, 15 minutes ago. But, keeping Arizona around, they score a touchdown, they make it 20-13, they make the big stop, they get the ball back, and they do get that first down. When we last left you, it was, 4th and 4, they make a nice reception. So it is, now it's 3rd down on that same drive. We're at the 2-minute warning. So it's 3rd and 8 or so at the Seattle 45-yard line. So they're moving the ball down the field. They got 2 timeouts as well. They got a shot here, which, like I said, Gabe, we wouldn't have said that, an hour or so ago or a half hour ago, for that matter. So 6.5 and no total on FanDuel anyway with the game in-game live stuff. What are they going to do?
A hell of a catch from Michael Wilson on 4th down. It was 4th and 4.
Yeah.
Sort of one-handed. It was behind him too, but he made a play there. And I can't help but wonder, where was this urgency from Arizona all night? Remember, Scott, before the game, I brought it up. I brought it up last night too, or this week, that Arizona takes 33 seconds to snap the ball, right? They can't get a flow. You want to get more plays off, not less. I don't really understand their strategy, and now they find themselves, when they pick up the pace, they're better. You and I just talked about Kyler Murray is clearly better in a no-huddle, hurry-up type of situation. He's harder to stop, too. He can run around. It's hard for the defenders to keep up with him. They don't use him properly, just point blank. Yeah. Where are the design runs? He's so fast, Scott. I would roll him out, tire out Seattle's defense, have him run one way, chase him one way, have him chase another way, then throw it down the middle. mix it up a little bit with them. Like, I don't like the play calling for Arizona. They don't use Kyler Murray properly.
I don't think they've called one quarterback draw. Like, his scrambles are all on busted pass plays. And listen, I'm not a big fan. I call it college football in the NFL. I really don't want to see that with the quarterback, especially since all the rules, you can't hit them high, you can't hit them low.
But all the new quarterbacks are so fast. They can take off.
And that's why that's what they should be doing. I don't like it, but if I'm an offensive coordinator and I got Kyler Murray or I got some of these other quarterbacks, I mean, I'm calling it every other play.
Well, to bring it up,
the defensive line
Michigan,
hates
Nebraska.
That.
You saw with Bryce Underwood. Dude, it was from the 45-yard line. He just dropped back. Everything was there. He just ran right up the middle of the field like Lamar Jackson would have in the old days. Right? He just took off, and he's so fast. No one was in, like, everybody just watched him almost. Just, run past, right past him. But, look, Kyler did it under the sense of urgency before. I'd like to see him do it more. And so they pick up a first down again. This is getting real. They got the ball inside the 30-yard line right now.
On 3rd and 9, they get the first down. How about that?
They get the first down to Dortch. Dortch
Would
with
they
the
go
catch.
for 2? Would they go for 2 if they scored a touchdown?
I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know what Cannon would do. My guess is he probably would. At home here, he probably would.
Got all the momentum.
And I would say that they don't get it. Teams never get it.
I know. Again, now that they changed the overtime rules and both teams get the ball no matter what, you got all the mojo. If I
supposedly they get it 52% of the time. That was the number last year. They're 52% of the time. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that, does it?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like.
No, it doesn't.
You know what? We always see it though, don't we? We always see a team like march down the field, score a really hard touchdown. And then the 2, it just blows up right away. Never a chance.
Yeah.
Like, they run some. Yeah. It's like, wow, there goes that comeback. We just blew it up on that dumb play call. Like, I don't have confidence in teams getting the 2. I don't mind going for the 2 for the win, but I don't have a lot of confidence in the team's play calls. That's my deal with this.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I know it's gutsy and like I don't always wouldn't always want to do it, Scott. But like, if you're really being real about it. Do you have a better chance of scoring from the 2-yard line, or do we have a better chance of like coming up with like a sequence of 12 stops in a row and a drive? And what about them scoring? What if we fumble? Like, there's so many sequences, right, that sort of play out that, you sort of think, let's go for it. Why not? It's one play, but then it also comes down to one play, boom or bust, right? That's the problem.
Yeah. I could even live with that. I know it's like hindsight 2020, but you go for it and you should be able to. There's got to be, out of all the seminars and all the training and all the off season and all this and all that, you're telling me that these offensive coordinators don't have one play in their back pocket.
Yeah,
they
go
say, you know
play.
What? This is gonna hit. Yeah, I've studied this for 3 months now and went to 20 different seminars with Nicky Saban.
The Seattle Seahawks didn't in the Super Bowl. They threw the ball from the 1-yard line. That was their Super Bowl on the line play. They decided to throw the ball from the 1, and it gets intercepted. I think, one team, Scott, and we saw it the other night, was the Detroit Lions. They're confident in that. Yeah, we got this, and look, we're going to hand it off to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's going to pitch it. And like if it doesn't work, so be it. We're going to do it again. Like, we have a play. And I guarantee you, Scott, they got like 12 of them, I bet. Like, that's just one of them that they have. Like, well, Harrison does it again. Play. Not a touchdown, but he just made a big play. So this kid's saving the best for last tonight. This is talking about redeeming himself. Yeah. He just went over his 4.5 with that catch.
Yeah. That touchdown reception was a hell of a catch, which tells me that you're right about the yips in that he can't catch the ones that are right to him, and no one's guarding him, because
he jumps over someone's head and rips it away.
Yeah, exactly. Hand in the face, jumping up, 2 hands. He's not thinking; he's just reacting. He's giving his athletic ability.
You're right.
It's the other stuff.
Yeah, when it's nice and slow and the ball's coming to him, it's like in slow motion for him. Hey, he's like, and he's probably thinking in his head, "Don't drop it, Marvin, don't drop it."
Yeah.
Probably picturing his father, like, with a baseball bat, thinking you're really hurting my, his father, what my father said, I'm dropping bass. It's like, but yeah, no, the kid's got talent, obviously, right? And it's clear that Kyler's regained the confidence in him here. He keeps throwing to him here. And that was a nice play that he just made here. That was a big time catch.
2nd and goal at the Seattle 7. Here's my problem too. Separate from what I have on the game with the boys in Vegas here, but my Mark Lawrence contest, I got Arizona laying 2.5. So I need them to kick the 1 point and win in overtime. It happens all the time, but I don't want to win 21-20 because then I lose my Mark Lawrence 1-pointer. So
wow,
but
they score the touchdown. They score the touchdown.
Wow,
Benson.
Wow.
I think it's Benson. I'm pretty sure it's Benson. No, let's see. Am I wrong? Is it no, it's DeMarcado. My bad. My apologies. DeMarcado.
On a rush? I've never heard of the dude. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They're bringing in guys off the bench here, scoring touchdowns late in the game, breaking prop bettors' hearts here, Scott.
Amari DeMarcado, at 3rd year at a TCU. If you had him on your bingo card.
He made some plays on the last drive. They should have had the kid in earlier in the game. So they don't go for the 2 because there's 28 seconds left. That's another thing too, right? When we're talking about do you go for 2? You cannot, you can't. You can only really go for 2, Scott, if there's like 10 seconds left or 8 seconds.
Right.
Where you don't want like 28 seconds. What's the point? Like you risk the game, and then man, they still got 40 seconds left. They can still kick a field goal. What's the point of this?
Yeah, over 43.5 is certainly back in play if we go to overtime.
Wow,
the whole thing can flip. The whole thing can flip.
We were praising Seattle, and now it's Seattle suck. A bunch of chokers.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
I needed a mental break when the season was over. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. You get tired of training. But, man, I never get tired of playing golf. I love it. I mean, every course is different. Every day is different. And some days you're like, oh, I got this. I got it. Then you go out there and shoot a 95 the next day. Like, damn.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I think so. You talk about how difficult it is to bring an expansion team into the league and have success in your first season. Like, that's fairly unheard of. And not only have success, but they're in the playoffs. So I think she certainly deserves to win Coach of the Year. There's a lot of different candidates that could potentially, you could make a case for them. But I think just with this being an expansion team and how difficult that is.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
It was nice to see that even though they couldn't follow the same blueprint as last season, or just the way that everyone thought their offense was going to run this year, Josh Jacobs struggled and Jordan Love stepped up. And if you're a Packer fan, that's what you were hoping to see, is that in the moments where you can't rely on the run, can the quarterback that you invested a lot of money into, now draft capital, putting weapons around him, rise to the occasion, and he did.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid. It's the most beautiful time of the year. No, not because of foliage or pumpkin spice lattes. It's because of football. SportsGrid has you covered all season long, covering every snap, every score, and every line move. Prepare, watch, win. Weekends are for winners. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So the Cardinals being the Cardinals, they come back, they tie it at 20, so 28 seconds left. So what do they do on the ensuing kickoff? We were talking about, going for two and you leave too much time up. They kick the ball too short. They give the ball to Seattle at the Seattle 40-yard line. So they need 15 yards to be in field goal range in 2025 if they want to try like a 60, 65-yarder. Just kick the ball deep, for goodness sakes. Can you please do that, Arizona? Is that difficult? So, all right. So we got a timeout, Seattle. We got 16 seconds left, and they got it at the Arizona 40-yard line, Gabe. I can't believe it. Just kick the ball
I'm not sure.
deep.
I'm not sure this is a timeout or it's not a timeout. It's the league reviewing it. I think they're seeing whether he was out of bounds or not. Like it's they didn't, because they had one timeout left and they still have they still have it. But yeah, it's unbelievable. That's the first time we've seen that happen in a critical situation. Like, I'm not going to say in a meaningless situation. It hasn't happened once this year on a kickoff there, but the new rules, you got to kick it past the 20-yard line. On the kickoff, and the ball bounced on like the 21-yard line. It was just short, so then Seattle gets the ball on the 40, and like you said, in the modern NFL, 40-yard line, you get to their 40, that's 20 yards. Suddenly that's a 57-yarder, which in the modern era we see kickers hit. But Myers is not a great kicker. He's not a great distance kicker, this guy. Like, he's missed kicks for a few years now. Yeah, he just missed one from 53 that they wouldn't be in this position right now, Scott, if he hit that kick.
Yeah. It's amazing. He's out of bounds. I'm surprised they're wasting time, and they got a timeout anyway, but still, to me, he's clearly out of bounds. So I just, man, I don't really like that rule. I get the whole idea you can't kick it out of the end zone. But I don't, I understand that you don't want the kicking team to be able to skid the ball, I guess. I mean, what's the difference if it bounces at the 19 or the 21?
You should be able to kick the ball wherever the hell you want to kick the ball. It's America.
Yeah.
Like, what? What's this, new, you know what I mean? It's just dumb. Yeah. Same with the onside kick. You have to tell the other team. It defeats the purpose. Kind of defeats the purpose of that. And what's the point of it? You know what I mean? Like you said, what's the point?
Yeah, well, what are you preventing by kicking the ball, inside the 20?
And also,
I mean, if they got to return it, they got to return it.
Their big thing, too, is, the collisions aren't as bad because the players aren't running all the way down the field. People are still getting lit up and smoked. So I don't know what their big deal is. Not really much has changed, to be honest. I mean, guys run right into a wall. I get it. There's been a few less sort of collisions and stuff, but, Myers going to get an opportunity of redemption here. Right, so it's a 52-yard kick for the game.
4 seconds left. Wow.
It's one of these kicks I couldn't even tell at first whether it was going in or not. That was not a work of art, but wow. The Seattle Seahawks win 23-20. The game stays under by half a point, Wetzel. 43.5 was the total.
Half a point. And this was one of those that we talked about, both our teasers. We both hit with our teasers, right?
You win the teaser, with Arizona. What were you getting? Plus,
7.5. And then the over hit with the teaser, dropping it down to 37.5. And then your teaser with Seattle obviously hit. So teaser was perfect tonight.
This is one of these games that the teaser hit on all four sides. You could have teased Seattle to the over or the under, or you could have teased Arizona to the over or the under. Now, this game was pretty weird the way that it got here, so you can't sit back. Right. Oh, it was a lock. But it's true. When it was all said and done, teasers on all four sides end up catching.
Wow. When it all goes back to that kick. Now, listen, if he kicks the ball deep, they normally get it right around the 32, 33-yard line. So would 7 yards make a difference? Who knows? But it just gave the impetus of, Seattle, with 28 seconds left, they run the ball out to their own 32 with 21 seconds left. Would they have taken a knee and gone to overtime? That's the question you have to ask the head coach, or did having the ball now at the 40 with a full 28 seconds left really say, okay, we're obviously going to go for it here. So
that is brutal
for
Arizona. I mean, you're down 20-6. You score 2 touchdowns in the last 6 minutes of the game. And then you lose the game in a 28-second sequence.
Yeah. Wow. And not to pile on, Gabe, but, I'll bring you, I saw a video of Tom Brady this weekend. It was on Twitter, right? And he's talking about quarterbacks, and he likes to see who quarterbacks congratulate after touchdown passes, right? So, and he was naming the wide receiver, this, and the lineman, blah, 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 blah. So Kyler Murray, after that touchdown pass that tied the game, miraculous comeback, you know who he congratulated? Nobody. He walked off the field. They showed him, gave a little hand slap to the head coach, and that was that. Meanwhile, everyone in Arizona is scared, they're all jumping for joy in the end zone. They're all celebrating, and then there's the quarterback walking off the field like he just lost his best friend. He's a strange dude. He's a real...
that's what I said earlier. Like, he makes plays, but he's not the type of guy that's going to lead a bunch of dudes. Like you said, every other Cardinal was all jumping on top of each other in the huddle there right now, right? Like, you should be there yourself too.
Yeah. I mean,
or even not even thinking about it, just the raw emotion of it, right? You sort of see the quarterbacks run into the end zone after, behind everybody. Like, but his raw emotion is no emotion. But none. You can't say he's not like cool, calm, and collected. The kid doesn't he's just the same all the time.
Good, bad,
that's the thing with him. Like, whether they're winning or they're losing, he has that same sour look on his face.
Yeah. He's the Todd Bowles of NFL players, You don't know if he's winning or losing.
You can't blame the loss on him. He just played his ass off in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. 2 touchdown passes, 200 yards. Darnold goes for 242 and a touchdown. Walker had 81 yards. Murray had 41. We hit that. You hit your Harrison prop. He had 6 receptions for 66. McBride had 7, but only for 52 yards. And Smith and Jigba had 4 receptions for 79 for some of the prop players out there. So, well, all right. In the end, it turned out to be a pretty good game. 23-20. Seattle does win, and they get the cover, and the game sneaks under. So we got some college
games tomorrow.
Yes,
good ones.
Great weekend.
Florida State, Virginia.
Football. Yeah,
expect a track meet there. Yeah, points in Florida State, Virginia, over the 60.
There you go. We'll talk to you tomorrow, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
SportsGrid.